Last time in Sailing Oriyo, we shared the first part of our tour along the French Riviera. We discovered awesome anchorages on the way. We bet Oriyo was glad too to be set on the water over there. A day we could experience our first sailing tacking with around 28 knots of wind in front of beautiful islands. That was the first chillings aboard. We arrived in the town of Lavandou, from where we are taking back this episode. We spent a lovely morning and night time in front of Le Lavandou. Now it is morning time when we start our day. After having a good breakfast, we prepared the boat to sail in and outside. Then, putting up the anchor and hoisting the sails up, we begin our new sailing day. Unfortunately for us, today is not so much of a windy day. We left the anchorage just with the sails and keep them up for a while. We are not going very quickly, but Oriyo is comfortable, and we are sailing slowly but surely to the west. This is the kind of smooth sailing that holds the time up, making you filled with serenity. The kind of sailing you dream of when you are working hard on your boat works, doing, well, from the top of my head, the scrapping and sanding of a hull, for instance.
So in the end, last night we arrived after a pretty much sporty ride in the anchorage in front of the town Le Lavandou, and we were so tired that we just cleaned the boat and went straight to bed. This sail was pretty interesting as we are running some tests for Oriyo. We did 22 nautical miles in a little bit less than 4 hours, and Oriyo was doing really great as we got between 25 and 28 knots of wind the whole time. We were sailing with the Genoa partially rolled and only one reef in the mainsail. She was doing great at I think about 6 knots in average during the whole navigation. So we were satisfied of her performances. So this morning we left a bit early to go to the west. We are heading back to Hier. We need to get back to Ciotat after that. For the next couple of days, the weather forecast says that we should have enough wind to go back to Ciotat. And we don't know for sure about the way of the wind. They say it might be west, then south, then east. So we'll probably have to sail a little bit with all kinds of winds. On the way to Hier, we just couldn't resist to this beautiful little anchorage.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within calling.
A lovely little beach within this great setting of nature, surrounded by a pine tree forest, is a typical place in the region to cherish. During summertime, it is usually crowded all day long. We are surprised to be able to spend this moment alone here. We are late in August and early on the morning, so probably the summer first tends to decrease, opening eventually some quiet periods like this one for lucky guys like us today, and for the nature to get some rest. Some days we feel a little lost, with no more landmarks. This weird impression of time that has stopped. We spent over 2 years working on Oriyo to get her ready, moreover our jobs and doing our videos to share this experience. All of that full-time schedule to be now and here in this astonishing place, setting our days according only to the sunrise and the moment it sets.
Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts. There's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Hell underwater, fine for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey.
It was a very lovely place and a little break in this morning. We are going to here because we have to do some groceries.
Maybe it's only a feeling and not what you said. It makes it hard to believe and why I lose my head. I just want the company of anyone. That's why I'm sleeping with the TV on. Guess we're caught in the moment.
This morning we are leaving the city of Vierre and we are heading to La Ciotat. So this is our last sailing day for this little trip on the east side of Toulon. The sky is a bit cloudy. We have, well, no rain, but a wonderful light. And the sea is flat. And we are supposed to get some wind from the south, so it would be a nice, probably a nice sailing day. But for now we are just heading with the engine on, as the wind didn't pick up yet.
Do you still call my name sometimes in your dreams? Do you still feel the same? Do you still call my name sometimes in your dreams? Do you still feel the same? I just want the company of anyone.
One tip for those who never sailed and the ones who are starting to. It may appear sailing in tough wind condition is more difficult than under light wind, but it is not necessarily true. Light winds imply constantly being on watch. In order to keep sailing ahead, we need to often trim the sails, to harden sheets, to ease off, to tighten the foot on the mainsail, to release the boom vang, to play with the sail's travelers, and so on and so on. Otherwise, we may sailing really slowly and not optimize the boat potential. Another thing about sailing close to the shore in light wind is that we are subject to wind variations and squalls. Hilly areas or capes can cause a change of direction or strengthen the wind. So if all the sails are up and well adjusted, the squalls arrive in a matter of a few seconds. We have to stay alert and act quickly on the sails. The worst is when the wind gets stronger because of a passage between two hills, for instance. So we need to reef, and like 10 minutes later, the passage is done, the wind died out, and we have to hoist back the sails fully. So that is sailing in light winds along the coastlines, always alert.
Apparently today the wind wants to play. Sometimes it comes and sometimes not so much. But we are still sailing. In the meantime, we did sail quite well, actually, as we've done 21 nautical miles in about 4 hours, so a bit more than 5 knots speed average. And we've reached the islands of Les Ambiers. So it's on the west side of Toulon. And now we only have less than 10 nautical miles left to go to La Ciotat. So finally we are anchored in La Ciotat. It was quite difficult to choose between Saint-Cyr and here because of both the wind and the waves kind of come from everywhere at the same time. So when we were in Saint-Cyr it was rolly and windy, and when we arrived here it was kind of the same thing, but we're a bit protected from a small island in La Ciotat. It's called the Green Island.
Yes, l'île verte in French.
Yeah, and it blocks the waves a little bit, so we are not so we're not that bad. And we are ending here this small trip on, we spent 6 or 7 days sailing. We were able to check a lot of things on Oriyo in both sailing with the sails, the rigging, the engine, because we motored for a while. And the anchorage, we were able to check those, and it was very important to do after these almost 2 years working on the heart. And we've never sailed with Oriyo beforehand, so we didn't know a lot of things about her. So now we're just starting to sail with her.
We are at the end of the August, and we sail with the boat around 1.5 months, and we sail 350 nautical miles. So it's not a lot, but we have a good idea of the boat sailing, of the boat setting. Personally, I'm happy. I check all the time the keel in the bilge or in the water while we are in the anchorage every day, and everything it's okay. So it's good news. The engine, I think it's okay.
Yeah, we'll have to check it's the belt.
Yeah, we have to. We have to check the belt. I forget. And the tension, and I want to change it because I know the quality is not good.
So yeah, this was interesting. We noticed a couple of boatworks to do because we have something to fix on the V-berth. Yeah, in the front cabin. We noticed that there was a big leak. Half of my clothes are wet. And of course it was on my side. Valéry's side is dry and set. No, this is not funny. But anyway, so she will do the fix.
Yes, it's for me.
Yeah. We have something to fix, something to organize a little bit more, to improve and to optimize for both sailing and safety. So now it is time for us to look forward to the future.
To the east, maybe to the south, maybe to the west. We don't know exactly, but
not the north.
Not the north.
That's for sure. Well, there was Earth at north here, so that's why.
So we see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for watching this episode. You can follow us on Instagram or Facebook. we prefer Instagram for now.
And Patreon.
And Patreon for the Patreon.
And still YouTube.
And still
well,
YouTube.
everywhere. Yeah.
We are everywhere.
Almost. Yeah.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for watching this new step of sailing tests with Oriyo. We are glad to share another episode with you, and we hope you had a great time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and write us a little comment. See you in 2 weeks for our next step. Until then, take care. Bye bye.